Welcome back to Hendo's Hot Topics, the podcast to distract your mind. Real people and their stories, raw and uncut.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Hendo's Hot Topics. Hope you're doing well, hope you're loving yourself, and hope you're having a good day. So in the 4x4 community, these lads need no introduction, but for you who don't get out there in the bush in the sand, this is Sean, this is Brad, and you lads are from?
Weekend Warriors 4x4.
So let's get straight into it. How's life for you boys in general, open and honest?
At the moment, we're going to probably say busy.
Yeah, I was just about to say as well. I was just like, life at the moment is hectic.
We are under the pump, and it's good though. It's a good pump, like sort of good pump.
Out of it.
Love a good pump.
No, it's good because so what's going on at the moment? Me and him both tradies. He's a heavy diesel mechanic, refrigeration. So we both work long weeks, and but we've also, running the business, trying to dive into YouTube. Got both our accounts we're trying to run, and trying to please, all the sponsors in return. So yeah, I'd say busy.
Yeah. And it's all learning for us. Like, this is all new to us. There's so much shit that we're just trying to understand and get our head around, not just on the forward driving side of things. We've done that for years and we love it. It's more just the business side of things now, and communication with people and just all that sort of stuff. Is setting everything up and making sure everything's streamlined for us and the customers as well. And it's it's all learning.
Definitely learning. Yeah.
So where did Weekend Warriors 4x4 come from? Just let's dive straight deep into it. When, where, why, how?
So I don't know. Probably looking back at 2018 now, is when I started the page. Never really thought anything of it. Came up with the name just on a whim, to be honest with you. Didn't actually think it would turn into an actual brand. But now looking back at it, I did the complete right thing and actually made it a brand instead of, saying, I don't know, what did I have back then? It was a 2018 Hilux. So I'm happy I didn't call it 2018 Hilux. Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's honestly just probably dumb luck, to be honest with you. And the branding sort of scene. And then from there, I think it's when I first met Brad, was when I had my Hilux actually, and I met him at the back of Irrititi. We camped for a night, and that's when I first met him, and then sort of just kept the friendship from there. And
Yeah, I remember that trip. That was I remember just Josh Robinson?
Yeah.
Last minute call up, and I'd just got the truck together. It was still on 31s. It was small as, and I was just last minute drove all the way up there and stuff, and I had just my basic setup and stuff like that. Just the King's tent on there and smash up, set up in the dark and stuff with Sean and shit.
Yeah, you got there real late. I remember.
Yeah.
No,
that was cool.
Yeah, I'd say just dumb luck, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, recently we just had the 4x4 Expo. Was it your boys' first big expo that sort of scene? Obviously, it's the first four-wheel drive in the country ever, but that kind of environment, with that many people and that much foot traffic, is that the first kind of...
Yeah, I feel like we've been to a few open days.
Yeah.
Surrounded by the 4x4 community. And we tried to get out to the normal car meets and stuff, but yeah, that was definitely probably the biggest show for us thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was I was blown away by how much had gone into it and how many people turned out to go see everyone and just people coming to yarn with me and Sean. We're just a couple of normal blokes and all these people coming up and saying hi and talking about the trucks and shit. It was so cool, just to meet people and shit.
It's really good to when you've talked to someone on Instagram so much and then you put a face to the name.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy. I was oh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Because we only even now, I only know people for their vehicles or something, you know what I mean? Not in a bad way, but you're talking to someone online and their name is fucking N70 fucking Hilux with 37s, and you're just chatting to them for ages, about heaps of stuff and mods and all that, what's going on in their lives and all that sort of shit. And then when you meet them in person, it's I run this.
We'll call it
No, but you said cheering the sponsors up, keeping them happy. Did you ever have in sight starting this page, you might have said it was a stroke of luck, but it's played out pretty bloody well. Did you ever think it'd get to the point where you have sponsors, you have to keep them happy and show off their gears and that sort of thing?
I think it's more of a personal thing for us to keep them happy. Like me and Brad always try to strive to keep, the people happy that are supporting us. So it's more of a personal level. The word luck, it comes into it, but I don't really like that word, to be honest with you, because, we have put like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into our trailer. I've had 3 separate builds up into the surf, and each build easily 60k a build. So like, we put a lot of our money. Is
that each?
Yeah, a lot of money and time into these rigs. So when people say, "Oh, you're so lucky," I'm like, "Oh, yeah, thanks, mate." But it's not really luck. Like we've put a lot of money in prior to this and all the time.
Yeah, and I love it when so you have young guys come up to me and stuff, and they're like, love my truck, and they love what I've done with it and everything like that, and I'm like, bro, I didn't start here. No way. I started with a V6 Auto Pajero. It's just I built my way up to this and stuff like that, and don't be trying to compare yourself to someone else and what you're seeing online, because I didn't start here, and people also don't see me and Sean have full-time jobs, and we do some massive hours to be able to
accommodate for
build these trucks and go and enjoy ourselves. And I think people sometimes don't see that when they're just looking through social media of the cool shit that we're doing all the time, but it ain't like that all the time.
I can give a good insight into that about forking your money out to the truck. I went on a 3-month trip with the Navy as a marine engineer, and pretty much for that whole 3 months, Tom's Off-Road was getting my whole paycheck, because I did not need any money on that ship. I was stuck in a tin can, so the man was getting my whole paycheck for a good 3 months. Just to top it up, and he kept advising me to do better things. Probably just wanted more money out of me, but it ended up being good stuff I needed to get done.
So this question for both of you: how long so far has the build been on the surf, and then same for you for the patrol?
Surf, from when I bought it till now, I'd say just over 2 years.
Okay, yep.
And from when I bought it to getting it road legal and actually getting it on the road was probably just under 2 years. So it's a long process.
Yeah, I don't know what mine is. Probably I'd say on the patrol, maybe 3 years. I'd probably say it'll be about 3 years or so.
That's what I mean.
And it's gone through a few changes since then. I flew down to Wellington, picked it up, and it was bone stock.
Yeah.
And drove it up, and it's when I first got it, I was just straight in, got a cheap roof tent and cheap roof racks and just everything cheap, because I couldn't afford all the best of the best. And then it's just gone through changes, selling that stuff, new stuff, don't like that, this is better, this is lighter, and it's just gone from there. So it's been going and it's still now you'll stop for a bit, and I'll and then next minute it's just up again, I'm want to do this and that and change this, and it just keeps on going.
Have you ever forked in a bit of money into a mod, and then I'll say a month or two, and in a short amount of time you've gone, shit, why did I do that?
I'd say with my first truck, definitely. I did everything wrong on my first truck that I bought when I was 19. I put lift blocks in it, just got negative 44s, some chinga bloody mud tyres, and I was like, this is me. And then ended up bending the bottom of my struts, and totally found out that those strut spacers are terrible for your truck, and just not the right way to do that.
What about you, Brad?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I have a mod, but I've definitely brought a few vehicles, and then once I got into it, I was just holy shit, what have I done? Why did I get this piece of shit? It hasn't been too many mods. I mean, the benefit of it is if it's something expensive, you can usually flick it on and replace it to something else. Yeah.
Not lose too much. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably going to lose a bit of money, but just get it gone.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you in specific, Sean. I'm not sure if you found it, mate, but I know you boys went on a bit of a sticker bomb mission at the Expo, all right? Did you ever find the sticker? I'm not going to say where. Have you found the sticker?
There's a few. I got done by, I think it's Tar.
Ah, yeah,
got
that's
done
not.
by Kiwi 4 Drive. At one point, I had a whole Kiwi 4 Drive sign writing bloody thing on the side of my truck. So I didn't even know. The boys told me later, and I was like, oh, I was too busy on the pity, mate. I was too busy riding around on the pity.
What's an ideal location, or if you could take the trucks across the sea, where would you want to go?
I think
Aussie.
everyone says
Across
that,
the sea.
but I've sort of recently changed my mind. I want to go to America.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
There's
I mean,
not-
if there's no cost, like you don't have to worry about costs and stuff. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
may as well not go to Aussie because
Yeah.
like that's actually like achievable.
Aussies too. I think I looked it up. It was
Yeah.
like $4,000.
So you mean like
Trucks.
proper overlanding in America,
Yeah.
like camp out, at like Yosemite or Grand Canyon or something like that? Is that
Yeah.
like that sort of?
Yeah.
Go to the States. There's just so much more land. Like
Yeah.
it's just so.
And I'm a big fan of the like trophy truck scene. You know, the 1,000 horsepower to
Yeah,
the rear
yeah.
wheels, and like.
Yeah.
So I would love to go over and see that stuff. Like go follow a Mint 400, or even knock over to Mexico and watch the Baja 1000.
Yeah,
So like,
exactly. Yeah, I'd love to do
That's
that. That'd be
something.
so.
you know, I'd love to do.
What are the next steps for both you personally, but also for the brand?
So for me, I'll start off personally. For me is another touring build, which we're going to go look at another one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's all good and checks out. You never know with trading me. You look at another touring build. I'm not going to say what it is, but yeah, get another touring build in so me and the family can go away camping. I miss it. The surf's not really family orientated, so
2 bucket seats, cage in the back, oh, and right next to the 35 in the seat.
The 35 in the back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, my truck this year is like this winter's going to be off the road.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of work getting done this year. It's like sort of been a bit neglected. I've been a bit just using it too much and not giving enough time to like do the maintenance and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I want to clean it up, paint job. Structural shop's going to do a 79 scoop on it.
Nice.
And then obviously XGG, full remote res, 6-inch lift. Then I want to go to like a touring set of tyres. So yeah, I want to go back to the South Island.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Like I just love it down there, eh? It's it's just so nice and way more freedom and we're quite limited in the North Island, I'd say. Yeah, it's
I mean, if you're not going Utility, Poto, or Bombing Range, there's not much
you
else.
just named it, yeah.
Yeah.
And the 42nd, but that's closed now, and I doubt they'll open that up
Yeah,
again.
100%.
Yeah.
I think the best things we have up here is the night runs when it happens, when it does.
Yeah.
That's probably
Tomorrow night, baby.
Yeah. And that's it, to be honest. Like the night run is probably the biggest event, so to say, we'll get up here.
Yeah.
And unless you're not going out on the weekend with your mates, like I said, up to the Bombing Range, that's it.
Yeah. And you can like tell already, like, as big as the 4-drive community is growing and stuff like that, the more the public eye is sort of like, taking, offense to it or whatever, like going up, everyone just like flooding in on the long weekends to go to like Poto and stuff like that, which is, it's just what happens. But yeah.
It's like a campsite.
Yeah.
How busy do campsites get on like a holiday? They get very busy in
Yeah.
the summertime. But yeah, people obviously don't like probably the amount of 4 drives that turn up.
Yeah, just imagine the locals. And so imagine if it was like, just down from your house or whatever, and then next minute you just roll on the beach and there's just like 30 sass going down the beach, you just be like...
Or 12 mil pumps sitting,
Yeah.
overfueling.
Yeah, that sounds lit.
Next step for the brands, boys.
Sounds like a good time. For the brand, obviously, which is the main thing, keep growing.
Mm-hmm.
Get it to a point where we can, do this full time. That's the main goal. So obviously the sponsors coming on board, massive help,
Yeah.
unreal help, and but yeah, just get the shop working for us, so we can work more for the brands, for YouTube, for our pages,
Mm.
and obviously produce better content.
Yeah. Because like we made a decision sort of when me and Sean teamed up together that we would like run under the Weekend Warriors brand because like it's
Like a collective.
it's everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be a part of it and stuff like that, and like add the stickers and merch, and like we're all Weekend Warriors. Like me and Sean are the definition of Weekend Warriors. Work all week and then just on the weekend blow all our money and go
Work on
break
our
our trucks.
trucks,
So and then we can use it for like anything. Like say we like start doing something different in the future, like as well, and branch off into I don't know boats and fishing or fucking anything.
That's probably more dumb luck with the brand name that I
Yeah.
had. It's so diversible and you can move it anywhere
Yeah.
you want. Like, Brad's into street cars, for instance. I'm into my street cars, but like, we could, I don't know, Weekend Warriors Drift or I don't know, something like that. Like,
But like you said there, you don't even need to kind of change it.
no.
It is a real creative open space, like you said before.
Yeah, I did a really good job, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Thank God for no 18 Luxy
Yeah.
as a username.
Yeah. I think the cool thing about like just also with me and Sean and shit, it's just like we didn't ever plan for this to be where we are or like what we're doing and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like this has all happened organically. I built my page like I just started, building a truck and doing whatever and posting videos and photos of me like forward driving and stuff, and all of a sudden I got like people like seeing my stuff and got a few follows, and then it's just all happened like organically. Like we love forward driving, and the pages have just come along, and then we've just like slowly building from there. It's not as if we went out like we're gonna build this big forward drive page and we're gonna sell stickers and
Yeah.
it just happens. Like I don't know.
Well, I got told from a few people we would never get sponsored in New Zealand, but we've sort of been the ones to pave the way for it, I'd say. I don't know if that's true or not, but in the sort of social media scene, I feel like we were probably, if not the first, very close to being the first, with sponsors. But it was very cool to have Brad, back me up, come on behind me and go, hey, we're going to take your brand on and we're gonna pump it. So, awesome effort. So.
And I mean, especially for the young 4B lovers as well. I think you've really started paving the way for them.
Yeah, I think that's why we got Cody on as well. He's a young fella and he
Yeah.
produces good content for young people as well. So we're trying to diversify, to have that full spread, from young all the way up to Brad's cracking on 40 now. So
Got to
Feel
reply
like
for that.
Yeah. No, it is cool, and it's like I love like seeing like the young guys and show that because it's like it's exactly where I started. Same shit, just like no money, just paycheck to paycheck, like building trucks, like buying secondhand 35s and like 12mm pumps and just like just doing whatever I could to like get more traction and just like go wheeling more often.
Yeah. Let's knock back the years a bit and go back to the basics. Where did the love for forward driving come from?
for me, it's just like I mentioned previously, it's from that first one that I completely ruined and sold at a massive loss. Like that Ranger went for like half the price of what it should have gone for. But all learning curves,
Do you want to talk to us about the Ranger, or for legal reasons you can't?
Nah, let it rip, bro.
I'll just walk straight across the conversation out.
Just unloading Sean's financial decisions.
I was young, I was 19. And I've lost my gear.
Yeah.
That's all right. We got a bit too reckless and smacked the table too hard.
Oh, it's back now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it is too. We're back, boys.
What was the question?
Don't hit the table.
What was the question?
Ranger.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ranger.
Yeah. I'm going
Initial.
over the police station. I completely ruined that truck. And from then on, the pursuit of like good products. Like I remember explaining to you about my BP50 ones that I bought for the bloody Hilux, and they're really good shock. $8,000 I think it cost for a set of those, and like Brad's like, oh yeah, you can read the brochure. I was like, you bloody hell. But yeah, it was definitely that first truck that I mucked up and
Yeah.
I came back and I was like, okay, I'm going to do all my research now. I'm going to see what's good, see what's not. And, yeah, slowly getting there.
Yeah. My first truck was a 2.5 litre Pajero. It was on Trade Me. No reserve, and it finished at $3,000, and like that was like a lot of money for me. Like I had to borrow money off my partner at the time to like buy that truck, which is like hard to believe for me now. Like $3,000 to buy a whole vehicle, like waff and rich, like drive away. And it was a nice truck as well. I actually like brought a decent vehicle. And I got home and I was, young, and I just absolutely just let rip on it. Like straight, like SAF springs in the rear, wound the torsions up to the moon, body lift, this shit. It was just like, it would look tough, but I mean, like, it was never going to see the road again. But I sold that, and I don't even remember what I got after that. Got a couple bush trucks, got a Safari GQ. Yeah.
So you went the full New Zealand route.
Yeah, and then when I was like, and then when I went to, when I was like looking for a truck, I was like, nah, I'm sick of like just wasting my money on shitters and stuff. I was like, I want to buy like a truck that like I'm gonna do up and like not gonna worry about what I'm spending on it. I'm just gonna do it to how I want and not planning on selling it, you know. And that's when I started looking. I was looking at 80 series mainly. I wasn't looking at like GUs and stuff.
Yep.
And then someone was like, oh, like, there's a nice GU on Trade Me, like it's manual and it's turbo and stuff. And I was just like, that's what I'm after. Went and looked at it, seen it, drove down, and I brought it for 25, the GU. And at that time, I was like, that was like a lot. That was like a lot. I was like, man, like, fuck, this is so, like, it's a lot of money for me. And it was. I remember, I think I had to like borrow a bit of money to buy it. And I like flew down there and got it and came back, and then now like fuck, you wouldn't find a 25k factory manual, factory turbo GU Patrol, and it was like immaculate, like it was full granddad spec 31s.
It's probably a third of what it's worth now.
I mean, it was
because he's got the GU brand on it now, so you got to add like another 20, 50,000.
20, 50,000. Just slapping numbers around.
Oh, mate, the surf worth like he's looking at $500,000 there for the surf.
Especially with those extra stickers, mate.
They'll wrap it up and have to change again because of bloody hell. Third wrap this year.
You don't have a custom plate, do you?
No, I can't think what to get.
The plate thing was a big thing as well. I didn't actually like plan to get GU Mad. Like, we were just throwing around. So I wanted like GU something, and I was just like, couldn't. You know, it was just like thinking. It was actually Chad. He was like, yeah, you should get GU Dumb. GU Dumb. And I was just like, oh, I don't know about that, eh? Like, I could probably get stepped out on the lights and stuff.
You calling me dumb?
That's exactly what I was thinking as well, eh? And I was like, I nearly brought it, and I was just like, nah, like I can't do this. I'm too small and I'm too white. Like I just can't. So GU Mad it was.
Lucky you got tints on your truck.
I was going to say,
You just see him coming, lock the door.
No, definitely. I reckon it's cool because me and Brad took completely different routes to get to here today. So I started off with new trucks for some reason, and I was just like ticking up like a new Ranger that I wrecked, and like, but I think it's cool that we took different routes, but we sort of ended up in the same sort of area with the pursuit of good parts, and having a fun truck also. So pretty cool.
The kind of bird's eye view that you guys have over the four-wheel drive community now, being, I'm going to say representatives for, I'm not going to say influencers, representatives for the four-wheel drive community of this country. Is there any drastic changes that you've enjoyed seeing, or changes you've been on? Oh, come on, pull your head in with that.
Sort of like everyone sort of getting away from just having a truck that can, work well but also look nice.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's a big thing because, it's all well and good to have a truck that can push through a bush. But, like, if it doesn't look nice, it doesn't work well, sort of what do you got there, Yeah. But that's just my opinion. I like to have something that looks nice.
Yeah.
Definitely seeing it now, like, I was probably part of that as well. It's just like it was full RB culture in New Zealand. You know, like street cars were everything.
No, definitely.
Drags
you know,
every night.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And I went to those out and I like loved it. I used to love street cars when I first started, and I still do. But it's like, it's now like sort of transitioning to like 4 drives and stuff because every like young buck's just like, yeah, like this is me. And I can go camping. I can go see here and go drive around and like, yeah. The
But
TD42 is the new RB25.
Yeah, but
that's
also
how it
do
is.
skids,
Yeah.
That's actually one of the things I said to my mates. Because I first got an Isuzu Wizard before the Cruiser. And they're like...
A Wizard?
Yeah, a Wizard. And then it was a makeshift WRX. It was a 1.5 litre Impreza with a WRX spoiler bolted on the back of it.
Did you have the big ball?
No, I had an XR Racing.
The super cheap auto.
And I bought the Wizard, and all the street car bros are like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Mate, that's exactly that. You can go anywhere, and you can do skids." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't think about that." Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah." And now look at them now; they're all buying trucks now because they follow that motto.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere and do anything in them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's pretty cool.
It was cool to see that change, I think.
Yeah.
Still, the car scene's still pretty cool in Auckland as well.
Yeah.
Especially with the JDMs, but it's
Yeah.
cool to see the change.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, I mean, I'm not sure how you guys stand on this, but especially, I'll say in the recent few months as a truck owner, how many trucks are just getting wiped out of people's driveways and just taken.
Oh, the theft.
Like in my I say a 4K radius of where I live, there's been at least 4 in the past 3 months that not just like on the side of the road, from people's driveways and taken and found, I don't know, 10 Ks away if the clutch is burnt out and full all this time and hard work people put into, wrecked in the matter of a few days.
Yeah, we tried to do something on that. We tried to bring in car trackers. Obviously didn't work out because it didn't end up on the website, but yeah, we hate seeing it. I get messages all the time from people going, "Hey, can you post this truck up? It's been stolen." I do it straight away, but I'm just like, why is this happening to me? Like,
Yeah.
so like,
Just
if
the
mine
same.
got stolen, I'm bloody besides myself.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a thing with like Sean, especially when you're like built a truck up like me and Sean, like
From
how
nothing.
can you like value that on like insurance and stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like, yeah,
Well,
you'll never get your money back. Like if it's gone, like that's it.
And
like,
the amount of
yeah.
time you've put into it, and
the
paycheck to
time,
paycheck into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I went to True Valuations recently and got it a bit done up, you know. 'cause
So
it was-
Sean, do you tell him what it's worth and stuff like that on paper?
on
Sean's truck.
paper, it was worth 10K.
Yeah.
And I was just like, if this goes, I'm buying myself, a new set of tricks.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Like,
So if Sean's truck just fucking left his driveway tomorrow, he'd get 10K.
10K.
Minus his what minus your
probably
yeah.
end up getting 8K, maybe.
Yeah.
And I've put 80 into it today.
Yeah.
And you're saying it was sitting at 10K for the past 2 years while you've been building it up.
It's been sitting at probably, 10K.
Yeah.
I've kept it well locked up and, keep it safe.
You're never getting it. Fuck off. Yeah.
Can't say that, right? But they wouldn't get far.
The Weekend Warriors have pulled out from all further 4x4 expos.
Yeah.
The fuel gauge doesn't work. So good luck.
Yeah.
And it cost heaps to fill up.
Yeah.
And last fill up was like 300. So just be a very rich robber to keep that one. But so we keep it really well locked up and have a tracker in it and stuff. So
Yeah.
I would definitely go see the person myself if I'd definitely follow it.
Now, I'm probably going to put you on the spot with this question.
Oh, no.
So not
beer.
too much pressure, but with the interactions that you guys have had with your followers since you started the page, has there been maybe one or a few interactions that have stuck with you or have changed your perspective a bit?
For me, the hate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had quite a bad few people hating on the surf build from the get-go. But that just made me want to do it more. So.
Curious, were they people that you knew or no?
No. Oh, yes, some. Yes, actually, no. There were a few people that, when I started doing
New
the
Zealand's
build...
a small place. Everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
and
And everyone knows someone that knows someone that knows someone. Like.
but even close mates to me were saying, "You're an idiot. What the fuck are you doing?" What are you doing? You build this truck and it's not going to get road legal. You should have just built another Ranger. You should have just done the same thing again. People were actually messaging the fabricators that I went through, calling them idiots. And I was like, the haters are actually real. Like, I didn't get any big hate up until that truck. So, yeah, the messages from the haters, but they sort of just drive me to keep going and do more stupid stuff that they're going to hate. So I'll keep doing that.
Even I went Sean when he was like, Sean was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get it certified and shit. And I was just like, oh yeah, are ya? You reckon? I was just like, hope they had come with a big list. It'll come back with like 3 pages you have to come back with. But
Do you know how many photos are on that cert tag?
yeah,
52.
yeah.
So I feel sorry. Like, cops will run my plate all the time. I've seen them do it. Like, I'll be at a BP or something. They'll run my plate, look at it, and then sort of go, oh, God, drive off. But I'm like, I feel sorry for the day that a cop has to pull me over and go through those 52 photos of me.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not running late for anything that day.
Yeah.
Any interactions for you that come to mind or have changed your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I've sort of avoided it a lot. I mean, I guess, yeah, I haven't really had too much hate and stuff like that. But I mean, like, as I'm like doing this and stuff like that, and where we're going now, like, I think I was a lot worried about what my mates and shit might think. You know, I hate that the tall poppy syndrome in New Zealand is very prevalent. You know, yeah, just, you know, he's trying too hard, and, you know, he's just like, you know.
I find that so funny, that when you're doing something that you want to do or something, doing something well, people just go, no, you're an idiot. Come back down to us.
Yeah.
Such a bad thing in New Zealand, eh?
Yeah. But nah, my mates are good, they're supportive and shit, and it's just like, yeah, they don't give a fuck what I do and stuff like that. And I mean, like, and they know who I am and stuff like that. It's just funny when you, like, people see you on social media, and then when they actually meet you in person, they're like, oh, like, he's actually a good cunt.
Yeah,
you know? Like, yeah, he was actually real cool and shit like that. Like, he actually knows his shit, and, like, he's just good for a yarn and, like, have a beer with me and shit. Like, you know, he's actually just a normal dude. Like, you know, don't believe everything, and what you see online is not actually, like, what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Come meet us. There'll be heaps of opportunities to come meet us come up in the future. So, and on this, we'll see how much idiots we are.
I want to ask, in terms of you boys, you know, having interactions with those people, have you ever seen them come back around once you've done your build, or, you know, you've gone on a wicked trip, or you've just done something real cool, and they've kind of turned around and been, oh, bro, that's so cool, and you're like, well, you didn't went and saying that, you know, a few months ago, a few years ago.
Oh, so I got a lot of people, again, back to my build, people that were sort of doubting me, which I did get a lot of doubters to getting it, like, how it is, and then road legal, but, they sort of come back to me. Like, I had one of my close mates from school come back to me at the open day, and he was like, you know, bro, I didn't think you were going to be able to do this, in all honesty. And I was just like, oh, yeah. But he's like, good job, mate. Like, you did a really good job. You've done it. You've proved me wrong. And I was just like, you know, it's kind of an awesome feeling. Like, you know. He never told me to my face, though.
Yeah.
But then he came around here. No, it's cool to see that when you, like, sort of, not really prove people wrong, but, you know, show them that you can do it.
You just stick to your shit and do it.
Yeah. Stick to your drive, stick to your passion. And
I think that's a key thing for, like, me and Sean as well. Like, if we say we're going to do something, like, it may not happen right now, but it is going to happen at some point. Like, you know, we don't just say stuff and it's not going to happen. Like, we mean what we say and shit like that. And, it will happen at some point, if not right now. Yeah.
So, anyway, anyhow, it's going to get done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, I want you boys to put yourself back in your shoes when you first got your wagon, your very first wagons. You know, if you had any advice for, you know, young Sean, young Brad, where you're sitting now, what would you say to them?
Don't buy a Ranger.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, fucking A. Don't buy a fucking Ranger.
I think the way that Brad went was the correct way to do it. Don't go ticking something up like that's something you don't need. If you haven't got the money for it, get something, learn. I didn't do that. I didn't learn. I learned the hard way. So I'd say do it Brad's way. Get something cheap. Learn off it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely say, like, don't rush into it. when you're buying your first 4-wheel drive. Like, don't be afraid to spend that extra money, like just a little. I'm not talking like, say you want to buy like a $5,000 Pajero and there's an $8,000 one, but like, you know, the $5,000 one's got like bar work and it's got a fucking winch on it and 2-3. It's like, you're better off to go for that one that's stock standard and really clean to like, and spend that extra money. I'm telling you now, like in the long run, that will be way more worth it, because that will give you so much less issues and like, just like there's so much shit you can't see that like once you get into it and you start modifying it and stuff like that, those things really start to rear their head and shit, and you're like, fuck, like what have I brought? Like, I wish I just brought something dead stock standard and just built what I want from there, you know?
Yeah, and do what you want to do to it. And you never know what the previous owners have done to stuff. So yeah, I found out the other day that all my earthing straps are bloody sub cable for my engine. The hell?
Yeah, that sort of shit. Yeah,
So I haven't changed all those out. But like, you just don't know what people do to these trucks.
Well, I wish I was given that advice a year ago. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I wish I was given that advice way back. My God.
Yeah, nah, it's you just gotta like look for something. Yeah, you're better off buying something that's like stock standard and like looked after, and then like build from there. Don't try to look. You gotta look past the 35s and the lift and like the bar, and if it's got like a winch on or whatever, you know, look past that shit. Just look at the truck and like look what's going on with it and stuff like that, and just go from there. You know.
Definitely.
How has 4-wheel driving helped you guys? Like, if you're willing to share it, what are some low points you guys have experienced in your personal lives, and how has 4-wheel driving helped you?
Well, I'll go back to that statement I made earlier about me seeing my paychecks times off road. Had a bit of a rough time on that trip. My partner was unwell. They wouldn't send me back. So I had to sit on that ship for like, I think it was like probably 2 months, just knowing that she was unwell and I needed to get back for her surgery. Couldn't send me back. Couldn't do anything about it. Building the truck, you know, was a little bit of a thing in the back of my mind. Like, oh, here it is. You know, you're still getting this done. It's a little bit of a highlight, but yeah, just not being able to get back for her was like a real hard thing for me. So yeah, little bit of help there, I should say, and then obviously just being able to go out with the boys of the weekend and thrash your trucks is a good, really de-stress for me for work and all the stuff going on during the week. So like, even if we break something, me and him are still smiling, eh? So as long as it's not both of them, and we're stuck.
Literally, perfect example of this. Like, so like when we were setting up for the 4-wheel drive show and shit, and I was just like, yeah, we'll go down the road, we'll go past like all the big dogs, like Cray and all that and stuff like that. We go down the road, like pull out onto the road, and I just fucking loaded up in first, slap second, and it's just hear this like full Chernobyl explosion like underneath, like, and I was just like, I was like nearly certain it was my crank. I was just like, oh, I've just fucked it. And I just like, Sean's just like dead silent in the passenger seat.
I'm looking at
that. So it's just like dead silent, just like gazing out the window, like, oh fuck, man. And I'm just like head on the steering wheel, like.
I'll give him his minute.
Yeah, just giving me like 10 minutes to cool off and shit, and then we're like rolling to the side of the road, and we just like hop out, and like Sean's just kind of like trying to like mediate, like it would be real like sort of,
I was trying, but it wasn't working.
Yeah, and I'm walking out and I'm just like, oh yeah, and then fucking like after like a minute started, I was like, fuck bro, it is what it is, like shit happens, this is what it is. And then like start up, and it wasn't the crank, it was like the diff and shit. And then like next minute we're just fucking cracking up, having a laugh. I'm on the side of the road pulling out my like drive shafts and shit, driving back in front wheel drive past like all the like
I've got a video
exhibitors and stuff like that, like all like the big dogs and stuff like that throwing past. I'm just going past in the Jeep, like going back to the thing.
So funny.
Ultra 4 like ripping us, just being like,
are you filming it like?
Yeah, Ultra 4 just ripping us a new one.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, nah, it's all part of it, yeah. Like exactly the same as what I'd do as well. If I seen someone come back like blowing diff, I was like, oh, what happened there, boys? Have a good time down the road, did we?
Oh, is that what they said? Is that what you
Nah,
got
they were just like, oh, like, I can't remember. It didn't sound like that when you left and shit like that. I was just like, nah, it's just a gravel, mate. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Get in there, nothing, mate.
Yeah.
We'll just go grab another car to go down the road.
Just parked it up and that's where it sat the whole weekend.
Yeah. Looked the part, though.
Yeah.
Were you there standing behind the phone going, having a giggle?
What? When?
Filming Brad. Were you filming Brad or was it someone else filming
Yeah.
Brad?
No, I was filming.
Yeah, he was filming. Shit, yeah. Once
Once
I
he has
once
cooled
I
down.
had my 2 minutes in timeout, once I'd been like, oh, fuck, and then I just like, and then Sean was just like, oh yeah, he's probably all good now. He's probably not gonna jump up and crack
Yeah, I
me or
was
something. And it's just like, yeah,
For YouTube, bro.
content.
I think the thumbnail on our latest YouTube was Brad like holding the drive shaft underneath his chair.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So, that's all part of it.
Boys,
Yeah.
a bit of advice for your future selves.
Ooh.
Or we can switch it up and say, advice or, manifest it. Where do you want to see yourself in the near future?
But yeah,
I'd love to like. It would
Good.
be cool if we were like doing 4Drive stuff like full time. Like that would be like as us in the future. That would be cool. Like to just be able to do YouTube and do all that sort of thing like full time. Like you basically see in Australia and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that'd be awesome to be able to do that. But I mean, like at the moment, yeah, we're just gonna build it organically and still working out.
Still working, still trying to figure out business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely build it organically. Look to do more builds, do more content out there, and yeah. God knows if we'll be in the future. It'd be cool to actually. I was saying to Brad the other day. It'd be cool to come back
Yeah.
in like a year
And
or
look
so
back on
or
what you
something
said.
and just be like, this guy's a liar.
What a fucking idiot.
No, it'd be cool. It would be really cool to come back and see where we're actually at and
Yeah.
see how much we have achieved or like are working towards still. Or
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely I want to do this full time. So
Yeah.
I think I've always said to Brad I'll be the first one to go into it full time.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, probably getting on a bit of a deeper bit. I guess it's just like looking for the future and stuff like that. It's just like when I was younger, like first starting out on 4Drives and stuff. Like I used to be just so stressed out, like with everything, like work and just like life and relationships and shit like that. And like I'd just be like, fuck, like everything was just like so overwhelming for me and stuff. And as I've gotten older, I've like definitely learned like to like manage that and stuff like that. And just remember that you're a very small cog in a big wheel. So like don't don't worry about the little things. Do your best and forget the rest. Just
Chuck that on a bloody jumper.
yeah. Like you just like don't be so stressed out and shit about everything.
Yeah, don't worry
like,
about
fuck,
the little
you know?
things and just
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Sorry, they got a bit.
No,
yeah,
that was
it's
good, bro.
But I just remember, when I was younger and shit, and like building, like worried about money and everything, and just like where I was going in life and shit, like.
See, I was the opposite. I never knew where I was going. My family thought I was going to jail. That's where I was going because I was always in trouble. So, but I didn't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the opposite.
Yeah. When you're young, you don't think like anything about consequences.
No.
I never
No
thought
way.
about consequences. Like when I was younger, like there was heaps of shit I did and like stuff that like upset my parents and like things I said to them that I really regret when they were so good to me. And it's like, I just think back now and I'm like, fuck, why did I say that? Like that was just like so disrespectful for so much stuff they've done for me. And
That's a learning curve, though. That's
and then
life,
as you get older, you just like start to realize you're just like, fuck, start to respect what's actually like, being
you've
given,
got,
what's been like,
Well, I mean, I guess a good thing, the way you can look at that so it's good is kind of be happy with yourself. You made those mistakes when you were younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, made it when you could learn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
That's the
When
one.
you could say it and ruin relationships, ruin things that are very vital to you now. So.
Or end up in the slammer, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Across the road.
Yeah. Right next to us, I was driving, and it's like 3 police vans. I'm like, yeah,
Which is here for me, mate.
yeah.
Have you got a cert?
Yeah, mate. Have fun reading them.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Before we wrap this up, is there any last words from you guys? Anything you want to put out there into the world? Anything recently you feel should be said, or?
Just keep pumping that positivity into the full drive community. Like, you know, everyone does it for their own reasons, and welcome the new guys in. Like, people don't know what they don't know. So, like, if someone asks you a question, then help them out. Like, you didn't know that question back in the day, so you know, get more people into the community, get good people into the community, and just make it a positive space for people to use it as their de-stress, like me and Brad do. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I see a lot of like posts and stuff like that on like social media, like people just asking like questions and shit, and like people are just like ripping straight away on like people, and it's like fuck, like everyone started somewhere. Like don't be like so fast to just start ripping on someone. They're asking like, yeah, like to you it may be a stupid question, but think about when you like didn't have any idea about 4 drives or anything, you know, like you'd have no fucking idea like what they're talking about, you know. And it's like, don't be so fast to just like start ripping them, you know. It's not hard to just be like, yeah, bro, like do this, and you know, like just be like kind, and then fuck, that person will remember you for like their whole time they start building that 4 drive, and like probably the rest of their life they're like, oh yeah, that guy, like he said to me like years ago, like he was a good cunt, he fucking talked to me through like this and that, and like told me what to do, and then like, yeah, that person will remember you forever.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Definitely. So just people just like straight away to jump in and be like,
oh, I'm better than you.
Yeah, just like instantly just talking shit, like,
yeah,
like just being a keyboard warrior, like straight away.
And there's moments like that, you know, when you, like you said, you're a little cog in a big wheel, sort of thing. Is when you ask those questions that might seem stupid, and someone doesn't want to help you or they can't be bothered with you, that's a real make or break for a lot of people, especially people get into the car scene or 4 drive scene. If you feel, if you're already going through life and you're dealing with the stresses of life, and then someone can't even be bothered asking a question, you're like, oh well, can't be bothered.
Yeah,
like,
fucking A.
This might be this guy's de-stress. This might be this guy's like, you know, he might come into the scene and be like, sweet, this is a really cool scene. I've got heaps of mates now, you know. I can go out with the boys on the weekend, have a few beers, camp up, you know. Like, so you don't know what that person's going through, so just be helpful.
That's a big thing as well, eh? Like, just like we said, like you don't really know what's going on in like that person's life and shit like that. So don't be very like quick to just start like ripping on them or like, you know, giving them a bit of shit and stuff like that. You like don't know what's going on. Yeah, you don't know who that person is and shit like that. You don't know where they've come from, what they've done and shit like that. Like I hate that when I see someone like, you can tell they're fresh, and they're like, the question will be like something simple, and they're just like, next minute it's just like every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry like just like giving their 2 cents worth on the comments, and I'm just like, fuck. It literally in the time you spent writing that comment, you could have said something like, you know, do this, or just like a quick little like, I would have done this, or just or just been like, check this website, or like message this person or something. Instead, they wrote some, you know. Some massive rant about how they're a fucking idiot. Like,
No, definitely.
Well, beautiful boys. Before we wrap it up, got two last questions.
On Bar Stubby.
How many more drinks you got on the case left?
Yeah, 0.
And the second question is, where can everyone find you? I'll drop your socials, but where can everyone find you, mate? And what can they look out for?
So, mostly present on Instagram, so Weekend Warriors 4x4 and GU Mad Patrol. Any business questions, direct them to me. So, like any website or sale-related questions, direct them to Weekend Warriors 4x4. We're both on there, so we can both reply and do all that stuff. But yeah, and www.weekendwarriors4x4.co.nz for any products you want to buy or anything we have coming in the future.
Yeah.
Beautiful, lads. Thank you for taking time out of your Friday, coming over yarn on the podcast. Cheers, boys, for being open and honest and just getting shit done and being good role models for the 4B community.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
I don't know if we're good role models, but
just take it.
Shut up.
As always, guys, do what makes you happy, do what you know is right, and do what you need to do for you. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hendo'sHotTopics. See you next week. Goodbye.